Katt Williams called Kevin Hart an industry plant, and Kevin Hart just responded in a way that shocked everybody. You heard that right, Kevin Hart finally confronts Katt Williams for dissing him on Shannon Sharpe's Club Shay Shay show. Keep watching to find out more on what everyone's saying about this eternal rivalry that everybody's now talking about. Online spat. It all started when Katt Williams, known for his unfiltered and controversial remarks, appeared on Shannon Sharpe's podcast, Club Shay Shay. Little did he know that his words would ignite a firestorm in the comedy world. In a no-holds-barred interview, Williams didn't hold back as he took aim at Kevin Hart, making some shocking allegations. Katt Williams said, "In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him, ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club." Williams went on to question Hart's rise to fame, suggesting that he was an industry plant and insinuating that Hart had special treatment in the industry. He then asked the question, "Have we heard of a comedian that came to LA and in his first year in LA, he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No. We've never heard of that before that person or since that person." These are some pretty serious words, but it got bad when he called Kevin an industry plant.
What do you think a plant is?
The comedy world eagerly awaited Hart's response, and he didn't disappoint. Taking to Twitter, Hart fired back with a message that showed he was focused on his own success rather than engaging in a war of words. Gotta get that anger up out you, champ. It's honestly sad. In the meantime, please enjoy my movie trailer to my next film, Lift, which will be dropping on Netflix in 8 days. There is a moment in the trailer where Gugu Mbatha Raw says, "They really love you." I now know she's talking about Katt. Hart's response left fans and the media buzzing. It was a clever way to redirect the attention back to his upcoming film, Lift, and dismiss Williams' vitriol. It's crazy that Katt would call out Kevin like that, and even though his reply gives off a calm demeanor, I'm certain Kevin doesn't take attacks like the one Katt dished out lightly, especially considering what he's been through to get here. Kevin Hart's journey to success was not an easy one. From his early days in Philadelphia, PA, to his rise as one of the biggest stars in the entertainment industry, Hart faced numerous challenges and obstacles that shaped his path. Born on July 6, 1979, Hart grew up in a challenging home environment. His father was largely absent from his life due to struggles with alcoholism, drug addiction, and consistent jail time. As a result, Hart's mother became the primary figure in his upbringing, taking on the responsibility of raising him and his older brother. Hart's mother, a strong and religious woman, did her best to provide a stable and nurturing environment for her children. She limited their contact with their father, recognizing the negative influence he had on their lives. Despite the absence of a father figure, Hart's mother instilled in him the values of hard work, determination, and the importance of setting big goals. Growing up in one of Philadelphia's toughest neighborhoods, Hart faced the harsh realities of his surroundings. Poverty, crime, and violence were everyday occurrences, making it a challenging environment for a young boy to navigate. However, Hart's mother's guidance and unwavering support gave him the strength to persevere. To cope with the troubled upbringing and the negative cloud hanging over his home life, Hart turned to comedy as an escape. He discovered his love for stand-up comedy at a young age and found solace in making people laugh. Little did he know that this passion would become the driving force behind his future success. After graduating from high school, Hart decided to pursue his dream of becoming a comedian. He took the stage for the first time in Philadelphia, encouraged by his co-workers who recognized his talent. However, his debut performance did not go as planned. Hart bombed the show, facing a harsh reality check that comedy was not as easy as he had imagined. Undeterred by the initial setback, Hart knew he had to keep pushing forward. He moved to New York, seeking out opportunities to perform and get noticed in the big comedy clubs. It was during this time that he experienced the true challenges of the comedy world. Hart faced rejection after rejection, often being booed off stage or met with silence from the audience. He struggled to find his comedic voice and connect with the crowd, but he refused to give up. Despite the hardships, Hart remained fearless, determined to prove himself and make a name for himself in the industry. In addition to pursuing his comedy career, Hart also worked as a shoe salesman to make ends meet. However, the financial strain became overwhelming, and he fell behind on his rent. Facing the threat of eviction, Hart found himself at a crossroads. It was during this difficult time that his mother stepped in to support him. Believing in her son's talent and potential, Hart's mother made a remarkable offer. She agreed to pay his rent for an entire year, giving him the opportunity to focus on his comedy career without the burden of financial stress. However, she set a condition. If things didn't work out after this trial period, Hart would have to go to college. With his mother's support, Hart was given a lifeline to pursue his dreams. He continued to perform, honing his craft and learning from every experience. He embraced the failures and used them as stepping stones to improve his comedic skills. skills. As Hart persisted in the face of rejection and failure, something began to shift. He realized that trying to emulate other successful comedians was not the path to success. He needed to find his own authentic voice and style. It was through this realization that Hart's career began to take off. As Hart continued to perform and refine his comedic skills, people started to take notice of his unique talent. Hart's ambition extended beyond stand-up comedy. He aspired to make his mark in Hollywood as a comedic actor. With this goal in mind, he took action and pursued opportunities in the film industry. In 2002, Hart landed his first movie role in Paper Soldiers, marking his entry into the world of acting. While Paper Soldiers was not a major blockbuster, it provided Hart with a valuable stepping stone. It opened doors and allowed him to showcase his talent on the big screen. This initial taste of success fueled his determination to continue pursuing acting opportunities. In 2001, Hart had a short-lived pilot that unfortunately never got picked up. However, this setback did not discourage him. 3 years later, in 2004, Hart landed his own sitcom called The Big House. While the show only lasted for 6 episodes, it was a significant milestone in his career. It provided him with a platform to showcase his comedic talent to a wider audience. It served as a valuable learning experience for Hart, further refining his skills as an actor and comedian. Despite the setback with his sitcom, Hart refused to give up. He understood that success often comes through perseverance and a willingness to keep pushing forward. He continued to pursue his comedy career, performing stand-up shows around the country and taking on smaller roles in various movies. Hart's dedication and hard work began to pay off. His talent and comedic genius started gaining recognition, leading to more significant opportunities. He appeared in movies like Scary Movie 3 and 4, The 40-Year-Old Virgin, Barbershop, and Little Fockers. While these were not leading roles, they allowed Hart to showcase his comedic skills alongside established actors and comedians. With each role, Hart's reputation grew, and he started to make a name for himself in the industry. His unique comedic style and infectious energy captivated audiences, earning him a loyal fan base. Hart's ability to connect with people through laughter became his trademark, setting him apart from other comedians. As Hart's career gained momentum, he began landing more significant roles in major blockbuster hits. In 2014, he starred alongside Ice Cube in the action comedy film Ride Along, which became a commercial success. This marked a turning point in Hart's career, solidifying his status as a leading comedic actor. Hart's success continued to soar with films like Get Hard, Central Intelligence, and the Jumanji franchise. These movies showcased his versatility as an actor and his ability to excel in both comedy and action genres. Hart's infectious charm and comedic timing endeared him to audiences worldwide, making him one of the most sought-after actors in Hollywood. In addition to his acting career, Hart also ventured into other business endeavors. He founded the media company Heartbeat, which has grown into a multi-million-dollar enterprise. This entrepreneurial spirit further solidified his status as not just a comedian, but also a savvy businessman. To summarize all of this effort and time into a simple phrase, industry plant might be offensive to some people, none more than Kevin himself, no matter how cool he might take the insults. You have to wonder, why would anyone have a vested interest in Kevin Hart being the biggest comedian of his generation? I mean, is Kevin Hart the best option? If there's little question about Kyvan's struggle to the top, then we gotta ask the other side of the question. Does Katt Williams have something against Kevin Hart? Beef history between Kevin and Katt.
See, I seen your stuff on social media, boy, I know what you do.
In the world of comedy, clashes and rivalries are not uncommon, but few feuds have captured the attention of fans and critics quite like the ongoing beef between Katt Williams and Kevin Hart. This bitter rivalry has its roots in a series of events that have unfolded over the years, leaving a trail of controversy and animosity in its wake. Katt Williams, known for his quick wit and unfiltered humor, rose to fame in the early 2000s with his electrifying stand-up performances. His unique style and fearless approach to comedy quickly garnered him a dedicated fan base and critical acclaim. Meanwhile, Kevin Hart was making his own mark in the comedy world, with his infectious energy and relatable storytelling captivating audiences worldwide. It was in 2008 that the first spark of tension between Williams and Hart emerged. It all started with a missed opportunity that would set the stage for their ongoing rivalry when Williams was tapped to star in the film Fool's Gold. The movie was set to be filmed on location in Australia, but due to his legal issues at the time, Williams was unable to leave the country. As a result, Kevin Hart Hart was brought in as his replacement. This turn of events marked the first instance of tension between Williams and Hart. While Hart stepped in to fill the role, it undoubtedly left a bitter taste in Williams' mouth, fueling the flames of their growing rivalry. After the Fool's Gold incident, tensions between Katt Williams and Kevin Hart continued to simmer beneath the surface. While Hart's career soared to new heights, Williams faced personal and legal challenges that began to overshadow his professional achievements. In 2012, during a press tour for his role in Scary Movie 5, Williams publicly addressed his feelings towards Hart for the first time. He acknowledged a sense of bitterness and claimed that he was a better comedian than Hart, asserting his right to the crown. Williams didn't stop there. He went on to challenge Hart to a comedy, rap, or even sports battle, eager to prove his superiority. The gauntlet had been thrown, and the comedy world eagerly awaited Hart's response. Hart, known for his positive and unifying approach, initially chose to ignore Williams' comments. However, Williams' jabs continued to escalate. He accused Hart of being a Hollywood puppet, claiming that he had paved the way for Hart's success and provided the blueprint for greatness. As both Williams and Hart continued to rise in popularity, their paths crossed on multiple occasions, leading to further clashes and heated exchanges. In 2013, Williams made headlines when he declared, "I want my crown back." This bold statement was a direct challenge to Hart's status as one of the industry's leading comedians. The rivalry reached new heights during Williams' conspiracy theory tour in 2016. In a scathing tirade, Williams labeled Hart a Hollywood puppet, accusing him of sacrificing authenticity for mainstream success. These biting remarks struck a nerve, igniting a firestorm of controversy and reigniting the feud between the two comedians. Hart responded to Williams' comments during an interview. He defended his career choices and accused Williams of blaming Hollywood for his own shortcomings. Hart emphasized the importance of taking responsibility for one's actions and highlighted the hard work and dedication of his fellow comedians. The feud between Williams and Hart has not been confined to interviews and stage performances. It has spilled over into the realm of social media, with fans and critics taking sides and fueling the fire with their own opinions and memes. The rivalry has become a topic of heated debate, with fans passionately defending their favorite comedian and dissecting every word and action. Despite the passage of time, the animosity between Williams and Hart shows no signs of abating. The two comedians have continued to take shots at each other, both on and off the stage, keeping the feud alive and captivating the attention of comedy enthusiasts worldwide. In 2018, Williams made headlines once again with his controversial comments about his fellow comedians. During an interview with Atlanta radio station V103, he took aim at not only Hart, but also other rising stars in the industry. Williams claimed that comedians like Jared Carmichael, Lil Rel, Hannibal Buress, and Hart were only successful because they were unattractive. He went as far as to suggest that their looks were the reason they became stars, saying, "You're making them movie stars? Why? Because you know ain't nobody gonna sleep with them." Hart, never one to shy away from a verbal sparring match, responded to Williams' comments during an appearance on The Breakfast Club. He defended his fellow comedians, emphasizing their talent and hard work. Hart pointed out that success in the industry is not solely based on look, but rather on the ability to connect with audiences and deliver laughter. He also addressed Williams' personal struggles, suggesting that his drug use had hindered his own career.
You became a risk to the studios, which is why the studios stopped with you.
Why was he a risk?
He chose drugs.
Oh.
Williams' controversial comments didn't stop at his fellow comedians. He also targeted rising star Tiffany Haddish, who was gaining recognition for her comedic talents. Williams questioned Haddish's ability to tell jokes back-to-back, implying that she hadn't proven herself as a true comedian. These remarks sparked outrage and led to a public debate about the role of gender in the comedy industry. Haddish, never one to back down, responded to Williams' comments during an interview. She defended her comedic abilities and highlighted her years of hard work in the industry. Haddish emphasized that success should be based on talent and dedication, rather than superficial judgments. Hart, once again, took the opportunity to address Williams' comments about Haddish. He praised her talent and accomplishment, stating that it was not an accident that she had earned the opportunity to star in movies. Hart emphasized the importance of supporting and uplifting fellow comedians, rather than tearing them down. Hart suggested that Williams should direct his anger inward and analyze why his career had hit a standstill. Hart accused Williams of sabotaging his own opportunities due to his superior attitude and legal troubles, making him a liability in the eyes of big studios. As a result, major studios opted not to work with Williams, further exacerbating their feud. Williams, not one to back down, took to Instagram Live to respond. He hinted that he believed Hart had become a sellout and even challenged him to a physical fight, adding a new dimension to their ongoing rivalry.
On that stage, we can put whatever you want. A full-court basketball court, a boxing ring.
The war of words between Williams and Hart has continued to escalate, with both comedians using their platforms to take jabs at each other. Social media has become a battleground for their fans, who passionately defend their favorite comedian and engage in heated debates. The ongoing feud between Katt Williams and Kevin Hart has had a profound impact on their careers and legacies. Beyond the public spats and biting insults, this rivalry has shaped the trajectory of their professional lives and influenced how they are perceived by the public. In this section, we explore the lasting effects of this feud and the implications it holds for both comedians. According to comedy experts, the feud between Williams and Hart has brought increased attention and scrutiny to both comedians. While some argue that any publicity is good publicity, others believe that the constant bickering and negative energy surrounding the feud can overshadow their comedic talents and overshadow their accomplishments. Fans have been divided in their support for either Williams or Hart, with heated debates taking place on social media platforms. Some fans argue that the feud has added an extra layer of excitement to their respective careers, keeping them in the public eye and generating buzz. Others, however, feel that the constant back and forth has become tiresome and distracting from the comedy itself. Comedy promoters and industry insiders have also weighed in on the impact of the feud. Some believe that the rivalry has created a sense of competition and heightened interest in the comedy world. The feud has sparked conversations and debates about the nature of comedy, the role of authenticity, and the importance of supporting fellow comedians. On the other hand, there are those who argue that the feud has become a distraction, overshadowing the individual achievements and talents of both Williams and Hart. They believe that the focus should be on their respective bodies of work and contributions to the comedy industry, rather than the ongoing drama between them. From a historical perspective, this feud has drawn comparisons to other legendary rivalries in the entertainment industry. The likes of Bill Cosby and Eddie Murphy, or Joan Rivers and Johnny Carson, have all had their fair share of public disagreements and clashes. These rivalries, while intense at times, have ultimately contributed to the legacies of those involved, adding layers of complexity and intrigue to their stories. The feud between Williams and Hart has the potential to shape their legacies in a similar manner. It has become a defining aspect of their careers, with each comedian being associated with the other in the public consciousness. Whether this association will be viewed as a positive or negative remains to be seen, but it is undeniable that the feud has left a lasting impact on their professional trajectories. Despite the ongoing feud, both Williams and Hart have continued to achieve success in their respective endeavors. Williams has released multiple comedy specials and has remained a prominent figure in the stand-up comedy scene. Hart, on the other hand, has become a global superstar, starring in blockbuster movies and selling out arenas around the world. It is worth noting that the feud has not defined their entire careers. Both Williams and Hart have made significant contributions to the comedy industry and have amassed loyal fan bases. Their individual talents and unique comedic styles have resonated with audiences worldwide, independent of the ongoing drama between them. As time goes on, it remains to be seen if the feud between Williams and Hart will continue to dominate the narrative surrounding their careers. Will they find a way to reconcile their differences and collaborate, or will the feud persist, fueling the fire of their respective successes? Only time will tell.
My frustration with Katt Williams comes from, you keep pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions?
Is Katt just a sore loser? Is Kevin Hart right about Katt Williams not being able to look in the mirror and blame himself for his problems? He might be, you know. Because in that same Clud Shay Shay episode, Katt came for the jugular of almost all the black celebrities. In the interview, Katt Williams didn't hold back when it came to his criticisms of fellow comedian Cedric the Entertainer. Williams launched a scathing attack on Cedric, making bold claims about his talent and career. According to Williams, Cedric is far from being a movie star, and he even went as far as mocking Cedric's appearance, comparing him to a walrus. Williams questioned Cedric's abilities as a performer, stating that he couldn't sing, dance, or write jokes, despite being known as the Entertainer. Williams also took aim at Cedric's comedy specials, claiming that they were so bad that they weren't even available on popular streaming platforms like Netflix or Tubi. These remarks by Williams have undoubtedly raised eyebrows and sparked a response from Cedric himself. In response to Williams' comments, Cedric took to Instagram to defend his career and dismiss Williams' claims as revisionist history. He emphasized that his career cannot be reduced to a single joke that Williams claims as his own. Cedric's response highlights the tension between the two comedians and the differing perspectives on their respective success in the industry. Williams also launched a scathing attack on Harvey, questioning his abilities as a movie star and poking fun at his appearance. According to Williams, Harvey couldn't make it as a movie star because he didn't fit the mold of what Hollywood was looking for. Williams mocked Harvey's physical appearance, referring to him as a country bumpkin black dude who couldn't talk well and resembled Mr. Potato Head. Williams also challenged Harvey's claims about his career, suggesting that Harvey's decision to stop doing stand-up comedy was not because he had 7 TV shows, as Harvey had claimed, but because he lost a comedy battle against Williams himself. Williams recounted a comedy battle called the Championship of Stand-Up Comedy in Detroit, where he exposed Harvey's alleged wig and left him unable to continue doing stand-up. These claims by Williams shed light on the competitive nature of the comedy world and the personal rivalries that can arise. Harvey has yet to publicly respond to Williams' criticisms, but the feud between the two comedians adds another layer of drama to the already explosive interview. It raises questions about the dynamics between comedians and the challenges they face in the industry. In the explosive interview on Club Shay Shay, Katt Williams also didn't hold back when it came to his thoughts on fellow comedian Ricky Smiley. Williams made some scathing remarks about Smiley's career and talent, leaving no room for interpretation. According to Williams, Smiley is not a talented actor and can't deliver a convincing performance. He even went as far as to say that Smiley can only play a believable character when he's wearing a dress. Williams claimed that he had put a clause in his contract stating that he wouldn't work with Smiley again unless he was in a dress. He pointed out that Smiley has played more female roles in movies than male roles, suggesting that he can't portray a man convincingly. These comments by Williams have undoubtedly raised eyebrows and sparked a response from Smiley himself. In response to Williams' remarks, Smiley addressed the issue on his radio show, The Ricky Smiley Morning Show. He confirmed that he auditioned for a role that Williams eventually got, but he expressed gratitude that Williams made the role funnier. Smiley chose not to engage in derogatory comments about Williams, emphasizing that there is love and respect between them. The feud between Williams and Smiley adds another layer of drama to the already explosive interview. It raises questions about the dynamics and rivalries within the comedy industry. As the podcast episode continues, Williams continues to target other comedians and industry figures, leaving no stone unturned. Another thing Williams made some bold claims about was Diddy's involvement in the industry and his alleged connections to the Illuminati. According to Williams, he came into the business with the intention of exposing the truth. He mentioned how he had spoken out about figures like Michael Jackson and R. Kelly in the past, which resulted in him being canceled by the industry. Williams went on to suggest that there is a side in the industry that operates in secrecy, and Diddy was allegedly involved in an Illuminati event where decisions had to be made. Williams claimed that he and Diddy were both invited, and one of them had to cut off their hair and change their appearance, while the other would receive a massive sum of money for movie roles. Williams implied that Diddy was the one who received the financial benefits. These claims by Williams have sparked intense discussions and conspiracy theories among fans and critics alike. Some dismiss them as baseless, while others believe there may be some truth to the allegations. The controversy surrounding Williams' comments adds another layer of intrigue to the already explosive podcast episode, and even the podcast host, Shannon Sharpe, had big issues with Katt's comments. As the interview with Katt Williams unfolded, Shannon Sharpe found himself in a challenging position. Let's delve into Sharpe's experience during the interview and his thoughts on the controversial comments made about his friends, as he recently revealed to Gilbert Arenas on the Nightcap podcast. Sharpe said to Gil, "Before I asked one question, he went 30 minutes. So now, as the interviewer, I'm going in my head. Do I cut him off and get to the line of questioning, or do I let him go? I said, God, you in control? Take the wheel." And he went. Sharpe's dilemma was clear. Should he interrupt Williams and redirect the conversation, or should he let him speak freely, knowing that this was a rare opportunity to hear a unique perspective? Ultimately, Sharpe chose to let Williams go on, believing that he was hearing something that no one else had heard before. Sharpe added, "I'm assuming when someone comes on my show, and they're telling me something that no one else has heard. I'm assuming they're telling me the truth because only said individual was there would know. You're asking me, well, why didn't you correct this? Hell, I wasn't on the set, so I couldn't. Sharp's decision to remain neutral during the interview stemmed from his personal relationships with the comedians Williams criticized. He emphasized that he is still cool with Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, Cedric the Entertainer, and Kevin Hart, despite the comments made about them. He said, "I'm cool with Steve Harvey, I'm cool with Ricky Smiley, I'm cool with Cedric the Entertainer, I'm cool with Kevin Hart. I know Michael Blackson a little bit, but I don't have his number. So I have a personal relationship. I'm not saying we're boys, but we have a friendly relationship. We're cool." Sharp's loyalty to his friends made it challenging for him to hear Williams' criticisms. He admitted that it was the hardest part of the interview, as he found himself caught between his personal connections and his role as an interviewer. According to Sharp, "The best thing for me is just to be Switzerland, stay neutral, ask the questions, and then I'm gonna let the viewing audience take their side." Sharp's decision to remain neutral allowed the viewers to form their own opinions based on the information presented. He understood that his role was to facilitate the conversation and provide a platform for Williams to share his thoughts, even if they were controversial. Sharp continued, "I just hope, and from the looks of it, fans have really liked it. My goal is always the same. I try to do the best content I possibly can. I try to get one or two stories that they haven't told, or they haven't told in a long time. And if they have told, people don't remember." Despite the challenges and conflicting emotions, Sharp expressed his gratitude for the overwhelming response the interview received. The episode garnered millions of views on YouTube alone, showcasing the power of Sharp's podcast and the impact of Williams' revelations.